Okay, you have the Buffalo Bills. I think they're definitely a Super Bowl contender. They brought in Von Miller to help their pass rush, and overall they're solid. I do think they do have a bit more weakness than people are talking about. Like wide receivers are a bit thin, and the cornerbacks are relying on a rookie right now. So I think if any of those injuries happen at those two positions, then the Bills might not be as good as people think, but they're still a Super Bowl contender. So your first game versus the Rams. Rams are a good team. It's a Thursday night, the first game of the year. Rams Super Bowl winner, just as stacked as the Bills, and this is a 50-50 game. Which team you just like better in general. I'm just gonna go with Josh Allen here. Then you have Denver versus the Titans. Titans are definitely a scary team, especially having healthy Derrick Henry. But the Bills' defense is good. I think they're enough to slow down Derrick Henry and maybe not let him run all over the Bills like he did the last two times. And I don't really trust him to throw the ball that much. And I feel like Josh Allen, the Bills' offense, can't get through the Titans' defense. So I'm gonna pick the Bills. Then you have Denver versus the Dolphins. Bills last 3 or 4 years have owned the Dolphins really bad. But I think this year Dolphins may actually put up a chance. Their offense, they got Mike McDaniel. At this point, they may start getting into an offensive rhythm. And the last couple of times, the Miami's defense have actually done better against the Bills than they did like 2 or 3 years ago. So I think Miami's starting to Bills slightly. It's a home game I saw it in Miami in September. I think the home field advantage will get to the Bills, so I'm gonna take the Dolphins and an upset win. Then you have them versus the Ravens. Then you have Ravens are definitely a scary team. They got Lamar Jackson, and that rushing attack can definitely get to you. Ravens are definitely a scary team. J.K. Dobbins, got Lamar Jackson, and that rushing attack can definitely get to you. I think Josh Allen, Gus Edwards, experienced enough J.K. not to throw this game away. Can be scary with the cornerback duo. I'm not sure if they can contain the run game. I think the offense will make up for it. Josh Allen throw this game away. I think they can. I'm not sure if they can contain the run game, but I think the offense will make up for it. Josh Allen, Stephon Then you have them versus the Steelers. Steelers, I just don't think they're ready to compete yet against a team like the Bills. I don't think Kenny Pickett. Then you have them versus the Steelers. I think Kenny Pickett's going to struggle against the Bills' defense, and they don't have a team like the Bills. Their offensive line, Steelers' offensive line is not that good. I think Kenny Pickett's going to struggle against the Bills' defense, and they don't have good enough to slow their offensive line. Steelers' offensive line is not that good. And their defense, I think, is above average, but not good enough to slow down the Bills. Chiefs definitely. They went to the AFC. They beat the Bills last year in the divisional round in a great game. Definitely. Chiefs, I think they got slightly weaker. The offense may not be as good as last year, and their defense is definitely divisional round in a great game. The Bills, and I think the Bills are going to want weaker. The offense may not be as good as the Bills, and their defense is definitely worse. I'm gonna give it to the Bills, and I think the Bills are going to want revenge against the Chiefs. And right now, the Bills have a more talented roster. Them versus the Packers. Packers are a tough team even without Devontae Adams. They still have Aaron Rodgers. They got Watson. They still have Tonyan, and their defense. They have a great secondary. Packers are a tough team even without Devontae Adams. They still have Aaron Rodgers. They got Watson. They still have Tonyan, and their defense. They have a great secondary that might cause trouble. Bills are coming off a bye. I think they'll be more well rested. They aren't ready yet. So I'm gonna take Bills. Have done well against the Jets. Jets, they do have some pieces. It could definitely be a trap game. Jets, but they aren't ready yet, and the Bills have done well against. Then you have them versus the Vikings. Vikings are another talented team that falls short of expectations every year. They do have a good wide receiver duo in Jefferson and Thielen and Kirk Cousins, and their defense isn't terrible, but they are kind of thin. And I think the Buffalo can win this game without much problem, even though they don't want to be too overconfident. So I'm going to take the Bills. Then you have them versus the Browns. Browns are a tough team. I like their team this year. They have Deshaun. I believe that at this point they're getting Deshaun Watson back. They got Cooper, and they got the best duo running back. And I think those running back duos will cause problems for the Bills' defense, like Derrick Henry did last year against them. And I don't. And at this point, I think the Browns' defense is good enough, maybe to slow down Josh Allen just enough. I think this is going to be a very good game. But in the end, I might call the upset. I think Bills are coming off a 6-win streak and maybe a little cocky. I'm gonna take the Browns here. Then you have them versus the Lions, a Thursday night game. I think this game is going to be closer than most people think. Detroit definitely has some talent, like Chark, Goff isn't terrible, Swift, Hawkinson, but they just aren't as good. They just aren't good enough for the Bills. But I think this is going to be a lot closer. Then you have them versus the Patriots. Funny enough, the Bills are back-to-back Thursday night games, so there isn't going to be a Thursday night like short week for them. That's interesting. But the Patriots are definitely a tough team. Their defense did get slightly worse with the linebackers being gone, and the Bills did blow them out in the championship game. But they still have Mac Jones, a somewhat talented offense, and it's Bill Belichick always gives the Bills trouble, and with the home field advantage, I'm gonna take the Patriots. Then you have them versus the Bills. Then you have them versus the Jets. I think the Jets just aren't there yet. I think the Bills can easily sweep them, so I'm gonna take the Bills. Then you have them versus the Dolphins. Dolphins are a good team right now, but not good enough to sweep the Bills. And I think the Dolphins and Bills for once will actually split with them. So Bills again. Then you have them versus Chicago. I think Chicago will be one of the worst teams this year, along with Atlanta. Bills, Justin Fields is going to struggle. They have very limited offensive talent. Their defense, not really anything to do. And this is going to be a blowout to the Bills. Then you have the Bengals on Monday night in Cincinnati. It's definitely going to be a good game. I don't think the Bills' defense is good enough to stop the talent on the Bengals. They have three great wide receivers: Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon. I think Bengals are going to have the best offense next year. And Bengals defense, I think Josh Allen is going to have a good game, just not good enough to beat the Bengals. And I think it's going to be a really high-scoring matchup, a great game. But in the end, I'm going to take the Bengals. Then you have the final game versus the Patriots. I just don't think the Patriots are gonna sweep the Bills. Patriots just aren't talented enough, so I have the Bills winning. So in the end, I have them going 13-4, 4-2 in the division, 7-1 at home, and 6-3 away.